Hello guys, this video is to answer two most often asked questions in regards to LMDS system. First of them is how to mount the USB drive into Raspberry Pi, and then later on how to use that drive in order to connect your existing libraries to Docker containers that you have. So for example, if you do have your serials in the USB drive and you would like to mount it the way that the Sonarr is seeing, I'm going to show you how this is structured and where you can find all of this information so you can apply exactly the same logic to any other containers that you would like to connect with your external media. Also, you can do exactly the same for download folder that is used by all the containers to start downloading the files from the internet. So it's actually not doing that to the SD card, but something external. This is absolutely not necessary, but has a more sense to offload a large amount of data to something external rather to keep it on the small SD card. All the commands that I'm going to use in this video, they are already on the website, so I'm going to stick the link underneath the video so you can just go there and copy and paste if you like. So without any further delay, let's go into a terminal. So as you can see, I'm inside LMDS system. It's a fresh new installation. I've installed only 3 containers, as you can see: Sonarr, Portainer, and Jackett. And that's going to be enough to show you a logic behind all of that system and how the folders are structured and how containers actually reference them internally. So on the website, I'm just gonna, as I said, put all of the commands so you can actually easy copy and paste them. So let's go back to the terminal. And first of all, how to mount the USB drive into Raspberry Pi. It's pretty simple. First of all, you have to attach the USB drive to the device, of course, and then secondly, we have to find that device in the system. We have to get into sudo mode because all the commands that we're going to use in here, they require the permissions to work. So first of all, let's go to list all the block devices. As you can see here, we have 2 devices. It's a SDA and that kind of device. I know this is a SD card, and that SD card has 2 partitions. That's the partition number 1, which is a boot partition, and this partition number 2, and it's mapped to the root folder, to the root file structure. And then we have SDA, which I know it's my hard drive because of its size, so I know it's this, and it has a SDA1 partition. As you can see, this partition is not mapped to anything, so we cannot browse this drive just like that. So first of all, let's get a little bit more details by typing fdisk-l. And as you can see, it's a long list of all the block devices as well. And our USB drive is the last one on the list, and it's also SDA1 as before. Has the same amount of space, and on top of that we know it's formatted with NTFS system because I did that on the Windows system. And its name is again device/SDA1. So with all of these informations, we should be able to map that partition into a Raspberry Pi and browse it. So first of all, we have to create the folder where we want to attach this file system. So mkdir, and now let's say it's going to be mount, and we're going to call it HDD. So if we're going to go there, and then list whatever is there, it's empty, it's nothing there. So one important thing, you have to install package that is responsible for mounting NTFS partitions. So if I'm going to do that, it's just going to tell me that it's already installed and it's in the newest version. Just make sure you got it installed as well. And then we already did we already made the folder, and now I can just copy this. So what does it do? It basically says mount NTFS of NTFS of that partition into the folder that we created. So if I'm going to press enter, that went without any errors. And now if we're going to list, surprisingly enough, there is nothing there, but we're just going to go out from it and then go back and then just list again. There we go. That's what I have on my USB drive. So this is great. Now we have to make this mounted automatically on boot, because if we're going to reboot the Pi right now, this mount point will be still there, so the folder is going to be there, but it's not going to list the folders that you have on the USB drive. So in order to do that, we have to grab one of additional information, and we have to find out what is that partition UUID. So I'm just going to copy this command in here, and what it does, it just basically shows a block ID or the UUID of the partition that is specified in here, and that's the only one I have for now on that hard drive. So having this information, we can edit something called the fstab file, and then we have to add a line to that file that's going to be representing your drive. So I'm just going to copy this line because it's exactly the same as that UUID number, but in your case you have to adjust this and that if you've created the folder somewhere else. So having that, I'm just gonna copy this. So we're gonna nano etc fstab file, and as you can see, we already have the partitions here of the SD card that we saw before, and now I'm just gonna add the hard drive record in here. So Control O to save it, Control X to exit. Now we can just simply call mount -L, which will mount everything what is in the fstab file, but of course our partition was already mounted, so really nothing new. And from now on, if you're going to reboot the Pi, the hard drive going to be mounted automatically to exactly the same place. You're always going to see whatever you have on this hard drive listed underneath /mnt/hdd. So that's where we're going to see it. If you want to be sure, reboot your Pi, and after it's back up and running, just SSH to it and find out if you can still see all your files in the folder that should map the hard drive into. So that's how you mount USB drive. And now I'm just going to clear the screen. And let's get to the second part of the question, that is how to mount your existing libraries that you have on your USB drive, or any other data for that matter, to the containers that run under LMDS system. So in order to understand that, you have to know a little bit of the Docker itself, and the best to explain this would be to show you its configuration file. So let's go into home Pi LMDS, and well, let's go there and then list all the folders there. And as you can see, there is one file called docker-compose.yaml. That's where all the configuration goes into when the container is being deployed by the script. So if we're gonna edit this file, you can see that we deployed Portainer, Sonarr, and Jackett, and this is all. And also that's what you can see in here in Portainer. So let's look at Sonarr itself, because that's going to be probably most interesting. So we have an image name that we pulled for that container. We have a container name, some environmentals here, and then we have volumes. And volumes are variables that actually describe which folder on the operating system, in this case Raspbian, it's connected to which folder inside the container. So as you can see, there is a volume folder, and inside that is a Sonarr and data, and that is mapped to the config folder inside the container. So the same in here. So inside LMDS folder we have folder media, and then inside that we have TV shows, and that is actually linked to TV. So if we're gonna exit out from this and we're gonna just do docker ps, that's all the containers we're running right now. And we have Sonarr here. That Sonarr container has that sort of ID. And so for example, if we're gonna go into Sonarr in here and click the little icon over there and connect to the console, the same number, 106, is actually in here. And now we actually connected into container itself. So if we're gonna list whatever is there, you're going to see a folder structure, and inside that folder structure we have a folder called TV. So that is actually folder inside media, and it's called TV shows. And why is that? So if we open this YAML file again, so we know inside media we have in here, inside media we have TV shows, and this is linked into TV folder inside the container. So that's what I just tried to show you. So what we want this folder to contain all your media that are on your USB drive, and automatically this is going to be visible for the container inside this folder. In order to do that, we have to exit out from here, and we have to link from inside the media this folder to whatever we have on the hard drive. And inside the hard drive we have downloads, movies, and serials. And inside the serials we have an examples. So basically what we're gonna do while we're inside home pi LMDS media, we're gonna delete folder called TV shows, RMDir TV shows. If there would be something there, won't let you delete like that, but you can move this folder into empty hard drive, for example, or move it there and put your media into that folder, or just simply do whatever I did, delete everything from inside and delete the folder. So right now, container of Sonarr doesn't have TV folder referencing TV shows folder inside because we just deleted. So what we want to do, we want to create a soft link to mount HDD serials, and it's going to be called TV shows. And now if we're going to list, we can see we have something like a folder, but it's actually linked to something somewhere else. So before we had just a folder, and now we have the sort of a folder with an arrow that is pointing to hard drive and the specific folder there. So if we're going to go to TV shows right now and list what's in that, you can see we have exactly the same stuff that we had on the hard drive. So having this, we can restart the Sonarr container. So you're just going to go in here. You can do that from command line, but well, we can just do this and restart. That will just take a couple of seconds. And now if we're going to go to its console and connect to the console and then list all the folders, well, nothing changed. But if we're going to go to cd into TV folder and then list whatever is in there, you can see that we have the same folders that we had on the hard drive, soft linked into the TV show folder underneath the media folder, and now they are actually presented into TV folder inside the container. So right now, if we open the Sonarr, we can import this file, so it's nothing here currently. We're gonna add import existing, and we're gonna go into TV shows, and you can see them. And there you go. And that's how you use your existing library, mounting the USB to your system, and then creating a link between existing folder or the folder that is referenced in the YAML file to your stuff on the hard drive. And that's how container can see something else rather than what it has on the SD card, which is initially nothing. So we can also do exactly the same to Deluge, that we don't have it in here. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna go back and go back one more, and then clear the screen, list the folders, run deploy script, build a stack. We're gonna add another container Deluge into this. Okay, I'm just gonna press enter a couple of times and then copy and paste, run, and that will add another configuration into Deluge. Well, it seems like I've tried this before, so it actually, had the image already downloaded, and it was simple to start it up. So in your case, it's going to be downloading image first if you haven't installed Deluge before, and then it's going to deploy like that. So now we can see that we also have Deluge here, which we're also going to see here. And if we're gonna examine the Docker YAML file again, you're gonna see that we had Portainer before, Sonarr, Jackett, and now we have also Deluge in here. And Deluge has its volume configuration created, and that it's how containers store its configuration. So if you're going to configure something inside Sonarr or Deluge, all that is actually kept in this place. So if you're going to lose this, you're going to lose all the configuration of your Docker container, for example. So keep it safe. And that also is referencing download folder inside LMDS, and that's the same name inside the container itself. So we're gonna exit from here, and if we're gonna get into command line in here and list the folders, you can see it has a download folder inside the container itself, and that download folder is referencing actually this download folder. So we again want to point this to your hard drive. So what we're gonna do, we're just gonna stop all the containers, and there's a command on the website. I'm just not gonna type it because I might just mistype, as I did many times already. So that's gonna stop all the containers. It also means we're no longer going to be able to use Portainer, because if we're going to refresh, it's just not going to do it, because container responsible for this is also switched off. And now we're going to clear the screen, list the folders. We're going to delete the downloads folder. RMDR downloads. As you see, it's gone. And now we're gonna create a software link, ln-s, into mount HDD. What else we have there? Downloads for home pi LMDS downloads. Now if we're going to list it, we have a link to downloads folder. Of course, if you're going to get there, there is nothing there, I guess. Yeah, just empty folder. So now we're going to start Portainer. Just like that. So we have our GUI back. And if we're going to refresh this, we should have it. So log in. And we're going to start everything back. That's pretty quick. There we go. And now if we gonna go into Deluge, for example, password Deluge, we're not going to save it, we're not going to change it, we're just going to connect to it. And one thing that we have to adjust is, by default, Deluge is actually trying to download into its root folder inside download. So as you can see, there's an error here. So what we want to call it exactly the same. What is inside container this. So just downloads, not root downloads. Just like that. And we're going to apply. And there you go. The drive is up. And now if we're going to download something, it's just going to put it into a USB drive rather than on a SD card that's most likely small. And that's how you connect containers to a data on whatever they are. So I hope that was helpful. It's a little bit long, but there's probably easier way to explain this, but that's what I came up with. So hopefully it works for you. If you're not going to remember much of this, the most important thing that you should remember is where to find out informations. So as I said, every time you deploy a container, this docker-compose YAML file is going to be updated and modified. So another record is going to be added there. So we have to just go to folder app and then nano docker compose, and that's where you're going to find all the information that you need in regarding to where data are kept and how this is working. So you only have to remember this. That's what Raspbian is seeing, and that site is what the container is seeing, and that's going to be exactly the same for all the containers that you're going to deploy. The same in here. So that's where the configuration is kept from the Raspbian perspective, and that's where the configuration is kept from the container perspective, and that's how you link these two together, so they are actually persistent. Without that, you wouldn't be able to create a configuration and then restart the container. If you would do that without external kind of mounting point, your configuration will be back to the initial one, to 0, so you have to do it all over again. And that's why you have volumes, and that's exactly how every container in LMDS system works. So it keeps the configuration underneath the volumes on the respectable folder, and then whatever additional requirements for the containers are, that's how they are actually referenced. You can add something here if you like, if you know what you're doing, but that's how you kind of make sense of what is connected where and how it actually references itself into container inside the container. So guys, thank you for watching. I hope that was helpful. If you like it, then give me thumbs up. I always appreciate that. It makes me, create more as best as I can. Thank you so much, and thank you for watching. Take care.